Salutations to all of my gremlins, and I welcome you to this brand new adventure. Today is a brand new chapter in as it unveils itself as a new chapter in the book of our lives. Today, I wanted to speak of something in regards to the alternative culture, which in this video I will express my perspective and my philosophy, and taking you into the in-depth perspective of my philosophy, of how I perceive of such absolute wonders of this particular culture. First, before I begin this video, I wanted for those of you watching to write in the comments below, in the description below, of how you are feeling. Let me know if the all has been well for you, or if everything has been at least positive for you. I would hope that everything is positive for you and everything has been rather well. The all has been well. And if not, otherwise, I will keep you in my consideration, my thoughts, and my prayers. And one would only hope that everything would eventually improve for you, for the positive. So write in the comments below and let me know how you guys are doing. How are you all feeling today, or as of late, or as of recent? It doesn't matter. Alright, I wanted to get into this video, and I'm just going to basically throw out a whole bunch of random thoughts into this video. One thing in particular was, for those of you who may not know me, I have been involved with the alternative culture since I was at least, give or take, more or less, I should say 12 or 13 years of age. My first rock band that I had ever listened to was in fact Korn, believe it or not. As the later years of my life progressed, I started to become fascinated and intrigued with such bands, the genres of the music, such as visual Kai, J-rock, a lot of Japanese rock. J-rock stands for Japanese rock, for those of you who don't know. Such as an example, things as Phantasmagoria, Darian Gray, Gact, Field of View. Well, it's more like J-pop. Then again, it still comes from a part of my country, of my origins. I am originally from Tokyo, Japan, and many of you may not have known that as well. There's a little information for you as well. One thing I have to say in particular is that regardless of who you are as a human being, you should consider yourselves grateful. First and the most vital, important aspect, the most vital aspect to consider in each day of your life as you continue to coexist as a part of the universe, as a part of this life as an entirety. One thing is that you should always consider yourselves to be grateful to be alive, to still breathe the air, and to take into the airways, into the lungs of your body, for what and who you are as a human being, and especially to accept yourself for who you are, and to never regret that, never regret who you are as a person, as a human being. And to being alive is one of the most fundamental and vital, important things to consider in this world, whether if you should decide to believe that or not. And to be who you are is something just so, versatile, like so vibrant, to be alive is an escape of words. It's something beyond physical expression of words, to being decoded into fragments of words There is no justification or expression to describe that feeling of being alive, of truly being alive. I'm not just speaking of just being alive and breathing. I'm talking about a step beyond that space and time, beyond that boundary of being alive. And to be who you are as a human being, that is a miracle in itself. I understand that might be hard to believe. Then again, to be who you are, you have to accept yourself for who you are. And you should never surrender yourself for who and what you are as a human being in order to submit yourself or conform yourself to the standards and regulations of others' expectations of you or their code of conduct over you. And individuality is actually one of the hardest things to achieve for most, I should say, considering that individuality is something that comes with a price. It comes with a feeling of to not care of what others might think of you. It comes with a price that when you are an individual yourself, you can never even consider the time to consider what others of what their perception of you are. There are not many who embrace the idea or the philosophy and practices of individuality or self-expressionisms of art and of embracing of yourself for who you are. And individuality is an expression of not only of words, it is in words as well as outwards for everything that you are as a person, as a human being. And one thing I wanted to say was, as much as, I absolutely love the Gothic culture and or whatever else culture that might exist in today's modern technological society and our civilization of ours. However, I do not necessarily believe in labeling myself. I rather label myself as a human being for myself. I am Cody. That is all that I will ever be as a human being. And to have to label yourself it's not a good practice. It's actually rather narrow-minded, as well as it restricts yourself. Because why would you rather conform to yourself, or at least constrict yourself into one particular label, when you could be something so beyond that, something so beyond, like, magnificent beyond it. You could be something versatile, something universal. And that is my philosophy. That is who I am as a human being. I am someone universal. I am versatile, as well as open-minded to many different aspects of the unlimited, infinite possibilities to become who you are as a human being. And for myself, I am a way-seer, I'm a spiritualist, a philosopher, I am an author, I am a poet, as well as someone who shares an intellectual state of mind and knowledge, and someone versatile so much beyond to the point where I perceive through the perception of many different angles of what the collectives of this world is. It's just this one large mass of a ball that you're able to compact together, and until finally, when it becomes so infinite, when it becomes so out of reach, it starts to expand out further and further. And that's exactly how our mind should be. It should consist of infinite possibilities. It's not finite, it's something beyond immeasurable. And something that is beyond measurable, if that makes any sense. So I rather choose to not label myself as, a punk or a goth or anything else. I'd rather just consider myself as an individualist, which is a collective of many different versatile cultures and different things and philosophies and state of minds all into one, and perspectives into one aspect. And I'd rather consider myself as a human being, because there's no escape from that realism, from that reality. We are as human beings, and that is what we will be until the day of our death, until the end of time. And we are forever bound to that, to be as human beings. And one thing I wanted to say was that I had noticed any longer that the vast majority of the Gothic subculture has become, nothing more than a popularity contest. And we need to look past the misconceptions and stereotypes that exist in today's society. We need to, ourselves as human beings, progress forward and push out against the boundaries that limits us, that restricts us from progressing and expanding even greater, even more forward beyond the limits of space and time. And I also seem to have noticed was that unfortunately there are not many of us who are individuals in this world, or at least in modern society. I could, however, be wrong. I have never met as many as I would have hoped to. Continue to be who you are as a human being, and you should never hold yourself back or constrict or confine yourself to who you are, and you should always embrace that for the positive. And if anything else, at least try to maintain in your attempts to the best of your ability, as best as possible, in order to maintain your positive frame of mind and perspectives of this world. It might be a journey, it might be considered hard. However, it takes one day at a time. It takes one day at a time. Believe me, considering that I had to journey throughout the gateways in the path and time of this life. I had to journey throughout this life in order to overcome those obstacles. And now I'm so much more versatile, so much more stronger, spiritually and physically and mentally, in every shape, form, and perspective that you could possibly imagine, from every possible angle, regardless of how, in what position that you look at it. Because I pretty much have overcome those obstacles. I had overcome those obstacles, and now, for the past, I should say, almost my entire life, I have never cared of what others think of me, regardless if it would be whether for the positive or negative. And that's the same perspective and philosophy of how others should perceive the world, how to perceive their own lives and their existences. So, I hope that you had enjoyed watching this video. I hope that with what I had said would have inspired you, and to have ignited that spark of influence for the positive. And if anything else, I envision a future of this world of our society to become more open-minded and to adapt to the different cultures and differences and similarities that we could all share together as human beings, and to become entwined in our equality, to be entwined and to become embraced in our differences. Despite our differences, for us to obviously accept each other for who we are, for what we are. And when I say that, I mean in regards to all human beings, not just a particular culture or, you know, this individual or this collective or that collective. I envision to where we would able to embrace ourselves, embrace each other, and furthermore to accept ourselves into accepting others, regardless of each other's spiritual beliefs or how we might appear on the outside, on our outward appearance. And I believe that, I have a passion. I love this culture. I love anyone who is an individualist. And as a genuine human being, as someone as myself who shares a general acceptance as well as an open mind, I like to say that I welcome everyone with open arms and I embrace everyone equally. So I love anyone who is an individualist, and I hope that maybe you guys can help me share this video with others who you might know, such as friends, family, co-workers, neighbors, whomever else, that obviously is an individualist and who loves, punk rock music or whatever else, hard rock music, heavy metal. Speaking of which, music in particular, I actually rather enjoy, as I said, I'm someone who's open-minded and genuine. I actually enjoy many different art and perspective of music. I love anywhere from like country western music, hip-hop, rap, dubstep, techno, electronic music, alternative rock, pop punk, pop rock, underground punk rock, punk music, heavy metal music, progressive metal, melodic death metal. I absolutely love it all. So ultimately I believe that we are able to I believe that we would be able to create a successful future in the successful progression within ourselves as human beings, if we should decide that we are to embrace each other for our differences, for us to accept one another for our differences and our similarities. And ultimately I share the same perspective for music as well. I believe that if more of us were to be open-minded to the many different art forms and perspectives of music, therefore we are able to embrace each other more as human beings and to push out the airwaves of the negatives and to invite in and to breathe in the positive, every positive aspects and perspectives that should make up us, that should make us up for who we are as human beings, and to project outwards into the world, into others, the minds of their psychology, for a positive perspective, a positive outlook on life, and an outlook that circulates and promotes for many different things, that we are able to share this light with others, and for us to hopefully stop fighting amongst one another. I would hope that we become more embraced and accept each other for our differences than anything else. So, thank you for taking this opportunity and watching this video. I hope that maybe this video had inspired you. And as I've said, please share this video with your coworkers, neighbors, friends, colleagues, family, friends, whomever else. And I would hope that maybe this video would help to inspire other individualists, other like-minded individuals and way-seers, or maybe other philosophers, mostly individualists. Or I believe anyone should be able to watch this video, even if you're not an individualist, and maybe in hopes that this ultimately inspires you to open your minds and open the eyes of your minds and your spirit to become more accepting. So, thank you for watching, and please subscribe to this channel and share my videos with others. Please give this video a big thumbs up. And that's it for now. So, talk to you later.